Hi, that's Gandalf. Gandalf is part of Neil's dynasty. Gandalf's been playing with me today. I'm Neil, and that's Ginger, but I'm Neil from Neil's Han Dynasty. And my two buddies here. Like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. And buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium, because it's the thing to do. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's the thing to do. Also, look at NNE. I've been talking about this stock for a while. Now the rest of the world is finally catching on. You guys are going to freak the hell out over this one. This is freaking awesome beyond awesomeness. Let me turn the volume up here so you guys can hear more of what Neil's been saying for a long time, but you actually get a visual. A visual.
Nuclear power plant that sits in the back of a truck. It's right there.
That is a nuclear power plant. Beep, that little thing right there. Oh, it's a little nuclear power plant. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tires. Oh, it's about 30 foot long. 30 foot long by about 8 foot by about 8 foot. That's a nuclear power plant. That right there, you can take and drive it, drop it off somewhere. You don't have to put power poles in the ground every 50 foot, 100 foot to run expensive power cables a couple 100 miles to get to the valley where you're going to mine. So you're no longer constrained by the tens of millions of dollars of infrastructure. $7 million. You and another mining company buys one of that, drops it off, boom, instant power. Holy cow, mining's fixing to take off. Look at that nuclear power plant. That is a nuclear power plant, the safest one in the world. Rolls-Royce is producing something very similar to that for the country of England. They're going to provide to them by 2030 for their lunar moon base, to power the lunar moon base. One of those is being made by Rolls-Royce right now. Let's go back to the story.
There, left-hand side of your screen. James Walker runs the company that makes it. That company is Nano Nuclear Energy.
Oh, yeah,
James
NNE.
now on the set here in New York
I've been telling you guys about NNE for a while, Nano Nuclear Energy.
City. That's a nuclear power plant sitting in the back of a truck.
That's right. It's going to be the smallest system of its kind, and it's going to be portable, can go anywhere in the world by road, rail, ship, anywhere you want.
Okay, obvious question. Is it safe?
Nuclear power is already the safest form of energy man has already, ever devised, but this is still safe.
Well, could it melt down, for example?
It's impossible. Like the old systems, the biggest catastrophe that was possible was the meltdown system, but these are built with different coolants, different fuels, and for that reason they can't melt down.
Are these the kind of nuclear reactors that you find on nuclear subs?
There is a difference in level of enrichment, but like in terms of the size and the scale of these things, there's a very similar dimensions.
So what would you use them for? I mean, you can drive them anywhere. Data centers?
I mean, for the very small ones on the back of a truck, you could be looking at remote industry, mining projects, oil and gas, disaster relief.
Did he say mining projects? First words out of his mouth on what they'll be used for. Yes, he did. Something Neil's been talking about for a while, but you guys don't want to invest in it. The one person I know of who invested in it already doubled their money in a month.
Island communities, remote habitation, remote industry. If you want to go a bit, we have a bigger system that could be used for data centers, tech centers, and chemical plants.
You just drive the thing, plug it in, and you've got juice wherever you want it.
That's right.
Carbon emissions.
No carbon emissions. It could be a very transformative technology. Like this could bring power to people, hundreds of millions of people, maybe billions across the world that don't have access to consistent power.
What you're really involved in is the building back of America's nuclear industry. Because it's been run down for decades.
Oh, 100%. And look, that's one of the critical issues that's facing us. And like the US is reindustrializing, and as it does that, it's going to need power. And the DOE is putting billions back into rebuilding a lot of the infrastructure in the US at the moment, and we'll be part of that too.
Oh, well, you're in talks with the Energy Department?
Yes. So we're partnered with an enrichment company. We were the recipient of one of the big grants that was put out by the Department of Energy to help rebuild some of this natural infrastructure.
You were one of the top IPOs of 2024, as I recall.
I think we were the top, actually. So we were the top one.
And look what you're doing for yourself now. You're up 11% today.
Oh, terrific! Like maybe it's the show. I don't know.
Reward me, please. But I've got to make one last point. They're not in service yet.
No, and part of that is related to that infrastructure component, is that the time to deployment of these systems is going to be longer because we need to build back that capability to enrich and deconvert and all of those different aspects in the fuel supply chain. Once that's done, we can roll hundreds, if not thousands, of these out the door.
James Walker, fascinating. Thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Interesting stuff about nano-nuclear energy, folks. You ought to check into it. It is the Tesla of the energy business. A couple of years, that stock's going to be several $100s, I predict. Not financial advice. Don't take it that way. Have a good day. Bye-bye.